Not imagination?
Worrying pulls you into your imagination.
Oh, okay.
Worrying creates a negative projection, because when you're worrying, it's like faith. So, in other words, it creates more things to worry about. And you think when you worry, you're being creative. You think when you worry, you have a false sense of being good or concerned for your, properly concerned for your children. Now, any person in this room knows when you've had a mother worrying about you, what kind of effect that has on you, right? Why are they worrying? If they think it of as a goodness. What the truth of the matter is, they're escaping goodness, to be their own goodness. Because only out of worry can they invent their own goodness. See? They can escape the truth of all the mistakes they made the last time they worried. See? So they can, in other words, they can escape in the flurry of activity of their imagination. Now, this flurry of activity of the imagination is caused by the mistake they made, the projection which comes from worry. So when you make a mistake, when you worry, up comes an answer which isn't, which is not human. It's from some other world. In other words, it's error that looks like rightness, like a right act. Or it may not be a deed, it may be just a feeling that comes from a person who worries about you. Oh, Mom, don't worry about me. You know, you get bothered, affected. You feel belittled by someone worrying. You feel the negativeness of their worry. You feel like, you know, you feel their fears for you, and then you become paralyzed and you start making the mistakes they worry about. Behold, the thing I fear most, says Job, has come upon me. Worry is a negative faith, but it's the only faith you know how to have. It's the only way you know how to come up with an idea, a new idea, which is the answer to a problem. But the last problem you had came by the same process. Someone worrying, or you worrying. And you being you projecting, or you being someone's projection. Worry, there's two modes, excuse me, there are two modes of consciousness. Unconsciousness and consciousness. Now, in our life, we live a life of denial. In our ego state, in our fallen, disenfranchised, non-paradisical state, lost state, it's a state called pride, where we're trying to be our own God, and we try to be a God in our own world of imagination. And just like God, as I said before, in his world, has imagined everything to existence. His things are real. And in his projection, his present spirit projecting into consciousness and into ideas and into emotions and into form, into energy, into form. They are real and they are good because he is good. But when we play God, we are losing ourselves in the imagination, which is, we have a framework. We are made in the image of that creator, so we have a mind very similar to what God's mind is, but we're a little tiny replica of the grand ego of the universe. So we can do the same thing. We can also come into our mind and start creating. But it is Satan that draws us into our own mind, because it draws us away from knowing God into knowing ourselves as God. And we think there, we are deluded by the lie that is there, that we can think things and they be. And we can imagine things that they be, and that's a lie. Because that's how the hell comes into existence. And this is called ambition. Now, just frame that word. We are taught to be imagining, ambitious, imaginative, creative, we call it. We can't be creative. We're not God. There's no way in the world. So, big deal. How much is Michelangelo's work worth? Millions of dollars. Van Gogh, he was crazy. Who else would cut off his ear for a girlfriend? You know, but his work of art, they're considered creations. I think they're crap. I mean, you know, I see reality. Okay, so the guy can paint. Big deal. So everybody applauds his painting. Oh, wow, Van Gogh, you're wonderful. And he thinks he's wonderful, and they think he's wonderful, and the people who think he's wonderful think they're wonderful for thinking he's wonderful. And they have a role model of what is wonderful because they're not wonderful. Because if they didn't have something they could involve themselves in, something what they call positive, some role model of how they can be. Well, this man has managed to be worshipped by some little puny little creation. See, he inspires our respect and adulation. Therefore, if we love him and respect him, perhaps we will become a little bit of him